Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's fun video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days. For today's fun video, day 10 will take us to the 31st of July. Can you believe that? Last day of the month. Wow. I'm so sorry. We'll be able to start beyond that with the GFS and ECM ensemble because based around a couple of weeks. I'll have a look at CFSV2 at the end of the video. Next 4 weeks will get us into the middle of August. I shall get on with that for you in a moment. Just to say about the first video today was our 6 AM upload, and we've also released the European Outlook as well, so please check out those 2 videos if you'd like to do that. Please like, share, subscribe on bits, and thank you so much everybody for doing this for GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much. I only need to put around 5 more subscribers now to get ourselves to 14.1k, get our first 100 within 14,000. So, please give us that extra 5 and get us to 14.1k. It would be amazing if you do that. We are on the grind to 15k. But how long it takes us to get that far, I don't know. But we shall enjoy grinding our way there anyway. I'm sure we will. I don't know. Right, let's start off having a look. I'm so sorry, everyone. Let's get sensible. We'll start off having a look at Tropical Atlantic, maybe because I've not posted on this for a long while, actually. The reason for that is that, there's been a lot going on at home, the heat wave and whatnot, but also there's just not been that much happening in the Tropical Atlantic. Still, Tropical Cyclone Activity not expected in the next 28 hours either, so for the moment, the Tropical Atlantic may be quite quiet. I think one of the reasons for that is that in the Tropical Pacific, we have been seeing quite a lot of activity. So at the moment, we've got Tropical Storm Estelle, and we've also got a disturbed area there that's got a 30% chance of cyclone formation. It's been quite an active period in the Tropical Pacific, and the way that the weather system balances out is that if one area, in this case the Tropical Pacific, is doing something, then another area of the Tropical Atlantic will be doing something else. So if it's active over there on the in the Tropical Pacific Ocean, then it'll tend to be quieter in the Tropical Atlantic Ocean, and when the Pacific sort of goes quieter, then the Atlantic will pick up. I think we are going to see the Pacific becoming quieter. The Tropical Pacific, I think, will start to become quieter when we get into next week in particular, and the week after that, so going in towards August. I think we'll see things begin to get quieter in the Tropical Pacific, so you can expect things to get more active in the Tropical Atlantic, I would have thought, as we go into August. So expect things to start picking up in the Atlantic quite soon. Coming back to home, this is how the current temperature observations are looking. So the last vestiges of the heat wave are still in the far southeast corner. We're still around 24 degrees there along the south coast. Headcorn, Hertzman's, London Gatwick is at 23, Thorney Islands is at 24. So still sort of just about clinging on to mid-20s Celsius there in the far southeast corner. However, most places, and obviously that is a lot cooler than it was 48 hours ago, but most places are actually a lot cooler than that. So into the Midlands, like to Western 17, Wellersbourne 18, Church Northern only 15 degrees. Wow. Very cool. Cranfield at just 18 degrees. Cambridge, one of the hottest places 2 days ago, 48 hours ago, at around 40 degrees. Now only at 19 degrees. And Conisby, where we think we have the hottest day on record, there it's only 20 degrees as well, 20 degrees cooler than it was 2 days ago. Nottingham at 18 degrees. Into Wales, we've got Stonybridge at 18, we've got Lake Vyrnwy at 16, and we've got Rhyl at just 18 degrees as well. To Northern England, Walcott just 15, Resdale Camp at 16, Edinburgh only 19 degrees there, just 14 at Tulloch Bridge, and only 12 at Glasgow. Very chilly. Out Harwich is 13 degrees, and Belfast at 17. So clearly the temperatures are so much cooler now, and it is a welcome relief, I have to say. I had enough of it on Tuesday, so a welcome relief, definitely. Central temperature is currently looking like this, standing at 18.3, so have made it into the 18s after all that hot weather. That is provisional to yesterday, to the 20th of July. So we made it into the 18s. Of course, now we wait to see what happens in the 5 or 10 days. Will we be able to hold on to an 18 Celsius CET, or more likely we'll probably tumble back down into the 17s, I would have thought, and finish up somewhere in the 17s. But it'll be interesting to see. We might be able to hold on about 18 Celsius CET. It will depend, of course, what happens in the next few days. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. We're at Birmingham again today. So red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Birmingham. Staying off around average at the moment. It'll be relatively warm when the sun's out, but as it's quite cloudy today, then it's cooler. We are going to see the upper air temperatures lifting up over the weekend, particularly Sunday into Monday will be very warm, but then the upper air temperatures drop again. So this is why I'm thinking that we probably won't be able to hold on to 18 Celsius CT. I think we'll probably go down into 17s in the end, because I think it's just a little bit too much cool weather there to be able to maintain an 18 Celsius CET month. I could be wrong on that, but we'll see. Beyond that, through the first week of August, we're a bit warmer than average, and you will notice there are some quite hot runs appearing again. So particularly up here, we've got some very hot outlier MEMS. At the moment, they are just outliers. The operational actually goes quite hot very briefly again around the turn of the month, actually. So they are outliers at the moment, but it's not impossible that we might turn things hot again through the early part of August in particular. But we also, you know, can't discount these cooler ensemble members down here, but the trend this summer has been towards heat spikes, so it is possible we might get another push up in the temperature first week of August. We'll have to wait and see. Precipitation wise, look like that. A little bit on the showery side, not completely dry, not that unsettled, I have to say, but there will be showery bursts coming through at times. So not going to be completely dry couple of weeks, but not overly wet either. Temperature anomalies from the 23rd, 29th of July going to be above average. Precipitation anomalies from the 21st to 29th of July going to be drier than normal for England and Wales, nearer normal for Scotland and Northern Ireland. The latest wind from a map from earthnullschool.net shows that we have changed wind direction now with pullable winds into the north, and so that is the reason that we've cooled things down. The heat has gone off in that direction. Check out the European outlook, see how hot it's going to be in the next week or so across eastern and southeastern parts of Europe. Blimey. Right, this is how, I'm so sorry, this is how the UK Met Euro run is looking for midnight on Sunday, with low pressure away to the northwest, high pressure reaching into the south, but drawing up warmer air from the south again for Sunday, but not for long, as low pressure pushes through by Monday, cooling things back down again. Early next week, a ridge of high pressure will build in off the Atlantic. That looks quite nice, but it could be quite cool with that ridge, actually. There might be some relatively cool nights, but by day, I suppose, pleasantly warm as long as the sun's out. Still with high pressure, more or less in control of the weather this time next week, then, on the 28th of July. ICOM looks like that. Again, low pressure out to northwest, high pressure into south, drawing up those very warm or quite hot southerly winds for Sunday, but then the low pressure quickly cuts that off, so any idea that we start to bring extreme heat back up from the south, the shutters are quickly brought down on that as we roll the low pressure back in from off the Atlantic Ocean again on Monday. Then into Tuesday, that low pressure transfers to Scandinavia, pulling into more of a north or northwesterly direction, rather cool and showery. Then we finish up with Icon looking like that. High pressure over the country and slightly to the east as well, mainly dry, and probably starting to become a bit warmer again as we begin to pull wind back in from off the continent. This is GFS midnight range looking again, much of a muchness for Sunday, with low pressure coming in off the Atlantic, very warm ahead of that, with wind in from the south. Into Monday, that low pressure will cut off any warmth, and you know, the low pressure just rolling and will turn rather showery and cooler. Tuesday, that low pressure transfers away to the east. We pull wind into the northwest. That would be quite a cool scenario for Tuesday. And then high pressure back in through the middle and second half of next week. Initially quite a cool ridge, but eventually probably starting to bring something a bit hotter back in from France and the Low Countries. I would have thought by Friday, 29th of July. Heading up towards day 10, we look like that. So a ridge is into the south, quite warm there, a little bit more unsettled and showering further north, and then into more extended range. Quite a lot of anticyclonic influences continuing. There were some showery shots coming through at times, but to be honest, there's a lot of ridging for the Azores going on here, and so the first week of August has a lot of dry and warm weather. Not extremely hot, but a lot of dry and warm weather through the first week of August, probably taking the temperature back into the low 30 Celsius. But GFS 6Z, in comparison, looks like this. Again, low pressure coming in off the Atlantic Ocean on Sunday into Monday. We look rather showy about low pressure north of Scotland, low pressure transfers to Norway, and we bring the wind in to the north and to the northwest. And high pressure builds in through the middle part of next week, so it's mainly dry, and under that area of high pressure, it will be starting to get warmer as well. Although the nights could be a bit on the chilly side for a while. Heading up toward day 10, we have a gut pulling back some very high temperatures from the south, plus 20 Celsius ice flow is back in again over northern parts of France, so we're not that far away from really hot air once again, but this time it just generates a thundery low, and so we don't get that plus 20 Celsius ice firm in, I don't think. But it does get quite hot. That will get the temperatures in that final weekend of the month, the 30th, 31st of July. That would get the temperature up to at least the low 30s, if not the mid 30s Celsius, probably. So it does get very hot, back into the 90s Fahrenheit there. Albeit it quickly, very, very quickly generates into thunderstorms. Beyond that, through the first week of August, again, quite a lot of ridging from the Azores side, so a fair amount of dry and quite warm weather. Also a little bit cooler and more showery there on the 4th of August. But overall, the Azores side remains quite close to us. Not as warm and dry with 6Z as the midnight run though through the first week of August. If you enjoyed the video, please show you like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. GM looks like this. Again, low pressure's way to the northwest on Sunday, bringing showery rain to the north and west. It will be very warm ahead of it in the southeast, and on Monday and Tuesday, it'll be turning cooler and showery across the country with winds in from off the Atlantic. Middle to second half of next week, high pressure ridging in from the Azores, bringing incredibly dry and relatively warm weather with it. That's how we look at day 10 with the GM. Again, quite a bit of high pressure in the south, quite a bit of ridging there, a little bit more showery out to the north and the west. And then the ECM looks like that. Again, low pressure is coming in off the Atlantic on Sunday, and through the early part of next week, we turn rather cool and showery. Beyond that, high pressure ridging in through the middle part of next week. We'll bring main dry weather with it, and then we finish up by the time we get through day 10, more unsettled in the north, just trying to cling on to that bit of high pressure from the Azores further south on the final day of July. And nowhere near as hot there with the ECMWF midnight run with those upper air temperatures. Look, nowhere near as hot there for the last day of July as the GFS 6Z was. This is a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from tomedShow.com. I think we could generate some quite heavy showers, maybe some longer spells of rain through parts of England and Wales tonight and tomorrow. So that's going to be useful. This is just something that's popped up in the last day or two. Some heavy showers, possibly merging to get long spells of rain through parts of Wales and the Midlands in particular tonight, tomorrow. So that'll be very, very useful for the gardens. Once that gets out of the way, we'll have quite a bit of dry weather down in the south. There will be showery rainbow coming and going into the northwest. And then into next week, it turns drier as high pressure sort of ridges in across the country before showery conditions begin to come back towards days 9 and 10. Meantime, the options on the table within the ECM ensemble today for day 10 gets to the 31st of July. 18 members of the ECM ensembles have high pressure to the south and east, with low pressure away to the northwest and winds coming in from like a westerly or southwesterly direction. So mainly dry in the south, a little bit more showery up in the north. What am I doing? This option is just here. 18 shows low pressure just to the west of the country. That's rather unsettled, quite cool and showery. 9 with high pressure ridging in from the southwest. That brings quite a bit of dry and warm weather with it. Low pressure is away to the north. And then 11 just here with high pressure right in over top of the country. So that's going to be, I should say, 6 with high pressure right in over top of the country. That's going to be the driest, hottest option. But only 6 ensemble members are doing that. Otherwise, I think generally the ECM ensemble is looking rather showery for the end of July. And then in 2 weeks time, these are the options that we've got. This will get us to the 5th of August. 23 members of the ECM ensembles looking rather slack with the gradient, so probably a bit on the showery side with that. 16 again with low pressure way to our west, and once more could be a little bit showery and a little bit on the cool side. And then 12 with high pressure ridging in from the Atlantic into Western Europe. That's going to be the driest and warmest of the 3 options. CFSB2 finally, these are 500 millibar high 20 down to week periods. The first week period takes from the 21st, 27th of July. The coming week we'll have high pressure to the west and also the southwest with low pressure towards Scandinavia. So probably turning a little bit more showery and definitely turning a bit cooler as well. Week 2 will be the 28th of July to the 3rd of August. Low pressure then is to the north of Scotland. Winds are coming in from a westerly direction. So that's rather showery again, and for northern areas probably quite cool. Week 3 is going to be the 4th to the 10th of August. High pressure then establishing to our east. There's probably a trough through here. That could be hot, but it could be rather volatile, I think. That could bring up wind from the south. But if there is a trough just to our west, watch out. We might get some thunder out of that. And then week 4 would be the 11th to the 17th of August. Low pressure is around Iceland. High pressure just to the southwest, and winds are coming in from a westerly direction. So that, of course, is going to be a little bit showery and rather Atlantic driven too. Okay, we're done. So if you enjoyed the video, then please you like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Don't forget to tell your friends and family to subscribe as well, and help get us to 50,000 subscribers. And why not drop a comment and let's know what you think this and all of our videos. And we thank you so very much for doing that. Right then, so that's it for today's videos. I hope you found them interesting and informative. I said we're only going to put on around 5 more subscribers now to get to 14.1k. So we're very close. We can get us to 14.1k today. That'll be excellent. Thank you so much everybody for tuning in today's videos. Tomorrow around 6 AM upload. Have a JMA Friday. There'll be a 10 to 14 day or two. And keep checking back to the channel for all of the updates. But for this one, that's all for now. And thank you so much for watching.